Welcome back. This is a continuation video of the Fauvism painting. In our last painting I had to stop because I had something else I needed to finish up, and so I stopped kind of right here where I was doing the big brush strokes in the front. I'm going to continue there. Remember, we're talking about big brush strokes, larger ones in the foreground, smaller ones in the background, and putting two colors next to each other to make more vibrancy between our colors to enhance them like Fauvism and show kind of some mood and emotion in the colors rather than just a normal naturalistic picture. Again, if we peek at Andre Durand's work here, this one that I showed in our last video, we saw how he used big strokes of color to kind of echo the water bumping up against the bridge or the sunlight reflecting in the water, and how he could put two different colors or more different colors next to each other to kind of change the color, like having the yellow, the dark yellow, the light green, the dark green, and having those all kind of next to each other, which creates some interest and also creates some visual color mixing. Okay, so those are kind of the things that we're looking for in our painting today. As I continue here, I had to clean up all my supplies, so getting set again with the colors that we need. I'll need some white and some yellow and green to get started. I got my my trees and sorry, not the trees, the grass started, and then the clouds and the sky and the mountains in the background done. So this time we're going to kind of focus on the sky and the grass and get those things kind of taken care of and fixed up so that we can be done with those and move on. So here we go. I'm going to start in with kind of with my smaller easel brush here and get kind of the background situated and use some bigger brush strokes in the background and kind of blend in a little bit here. So if I kind of move this over so I make sure we see it, I'm going to get this background happening. And I do want to have some brush strokes in here. And notice how I'm using the side of my brush here to make those brush strokes. And I'm actually almost getting the same kind of like feel that I did over here with the fields. Okay, and if I take my back of my brush and scrape through there, I can do that as well. But I'm going to kind of go right around my houses. I've got my houses there I've left them there so that I can have those for my last session when I do my little detail brush work. But I want to make sure that I don't lose that detail too much there. And again, the beautiful thing about tempera paint or oil paint or whatever is that you can paint right over what you've got and have colors from underneath showing, as well as having colors from the top on the top showing. So here, where I'm getting closer into the foreground here, I'm going to start taking more pure, bright strokes of color and laying them right next to each other, just like Andre Durand did. And you can see there how I've got bigger strokes of color. And I'm also letting that underpaint show through. So here you can see it's kind of this lighter green. Then we have the darker green that I just put on, and the yellow in there as well. And that's going to really kind of make it a little bit more of an interesting painting. Back here, I might choose to start making my strokes smaller so that I don't have so much variation and I don't have such big strokes. Remember, this is tempera paint, so we do want our paint to be nice and thick. Even if we're doing smaller strokes of color, we want our paint to be thick so that it does not look like a watercolor painting. Alright, and with that pretty much all said, I will pretty much stop talking, so Mr. Lundgren, you can fast forward, and I'll just talk live in class. If I have something to say, I might mention it for those people out there on YouTube watching or something. So if you want to continue listening, you can, but at this point, I'll probably choose to do most of my instructing in class. Okay, and that is gonna be the end of our final big brush strokes in the front here, brush strokes in the grass, brush strokes in the mountains, and the big brush strokes in the clouds up here. So I've kind of tried to articulate that we're using brush strokes of color, big broken color, just like the Fauvist did, as well as very bright colors, high chroma colors like this magenta that I've put right next to the green, or like the yellow and the pink that I've put right next to here on the reflection of my sun setting here, or the purple and the green right here on this big hill that we're standing on. So again, looking at the Fauvists, looking at bright, vibrant colors to express the mood and emotion of our landscape and really make the landscapes different than a naturalistic, realistic kind of a thing. So that's how we finish our Fauvism landscape. I might come back to do some details, but that's pretty much the general idea of what the painting should look like at the end.